the best way to start is just to start, I guess. So, I want to talk about the full moon in, what is it, Capricorn? The strawberry moon, as they're calling it. I'm not an astrologer. I don't want to be an astrologer. I feel like I am very uh too, what's the word? I guess like self imposing or self absorbed, I don't know the right word, to get messages for the collective. So I just feel like my interest in astrology is for myself. Um, but I also feel like there's not a lot of spaces, online at least, to talk about how the energies are resonating on like an individual level, and like a space to reflect, if that makes sense. I feel like there's a lot of knowledge spaces. Like there's a lot of spaces educating about the energy, how to work it in your favor, how it impacts you based off your sign, your moon, your sun, your Venus, all those things, your rising. Um, but there's just not a lot of space, I feel. You can probably see my lip gloss, I don't know. But there's not a lot of space. Um, just like to just kind of talk about it. Like I feel like I can definitely like just binge astrology content, but like taking the time to like sit with what I listen to, what resonate, what don't, and plan on how the current energies are going to support me. um, yeah, I just feel like there's just not a lot of spaces like that. Before we get into it though, I gotta tell y'all about this tea. Obviously not sponsored because no one knows who I am. But I gotta tell y'all about this tea because I got them on a whim. I promise you. Like, I don't know what I was watching, what I was looking at. I can't remember what I was doing. But I know in that moment, I was just like, huh, I don't think I've ever had jasmine tea. And I was just like, okay, let me go look for some jasmine tea. And I went to like Instacart first to see what stores carried it. And I saw green tea with jasmine, which is probably the most common way to get jasmine tea. But I was just like, is there like a full jasmine tea that I can find? Or like just something a little bit more that I know that I'm actually getting jasmine, right? Um, and then I came across this company. It's called the Magic Hour. Like, look at these bottles. They're so freaking cute, right? And what I love about this is like, so they have a wide selection of teas, and it's woman owned, amazing. Like you can tell too, cause like the attention to detail is just immaculate. And but why I bought these, which is also like the catalyst of me making this video, is they have an astrology collection. And I was just like, so I Googled, I was just like, oh, I know there's a full moon coming up. What's the full moon in? And so I saw it was in Capricorn. So, of course, I got some Capricorn tea, or the Capricorn collection. And then I'm a Sagittarius, so I got me Sagittarius. So, super excited. and I'm looking in all different directions because I don't know what's the best. I honestly at this point, but whether to look at my phone or look at the monitor, I don't fucking know. But let me tell you about this tea. Like, I'm sipping on it right now, y'all. You gotta get some. Like, it's just really good. If you want to get into tea, if you're a tea lover, you'll love this. Like come on. It's a really quality jar that you can use, repurpose, and all this stuff. And again, not sponsored. I don't know why I'm selling it, but it's just really good. I just really like it. And let me tell you what's in it. So I'm sipping on the Capricorn tea in honor of the Capricorn full moon today. And I'm gonna tell you. So it has Fuji apple, tea kwan, yin oolong, pumpkin seeds, seichung oolong, Vermont maple syrup, some extracts, and some monk fruit. So on its own, it's not like super sweet. It's not like I put sugar in it, but it has a sweetness to it on its own. And the Sagittarius tea have a sweetness on its own because I've already tried this one. That like I really don't need to add anything to it. Like if I wanted to add a sweetener to elevate, I can. If I want to, judge it up, I can, but it don't really need it for me. And I'm stepping away from like excessive sweetness anyways. So that's perfect for me. It's really good. I don't have the little card. The little card says kind of like what it's good for. I don't remember specifically which wine is which, but I know everything that I got, there's stuff that's good for blood sugar. It seems like that's the only one I can freaking remember right now. But it's like good for other stuff. It don't make claims, but like it's just good for other stuff, and I'm like, why not? And I didn't buy it for that reason. I literally bought it because the website was cute and everything was cute, and they had an astrology collection, so it's like duh, right? So so I bought. So this is the Capricorn. I already went over that, and the Sagittarius tea. So it has GABA oolong. Oh, I think this is also kind of good for like mental clarity, I think. What made me remind me of that was the GABA. So GABA oolong, Madagascar vanilla beans, cinnamon, ginger root. And if you know me, you know I love me some ginger. Okay. That was like my whole personality at one point. Sun-dried oranges, Rhodolia rosea, pomegranate, caramel and cream, and orange and vanilla bean essential oils. So delicious. They sent me like a little code for ordering. Like if I tell a friend, it's not an affiliate link. If I can find the code, because I had a hard time looking for it. If I can find it, I'll link it. But yeah, I bought it because I was just like, wouldn't it be romantic to sip on some Capricorn tea under the Capricorn full moon? And it's loose leaf, so I can use it up to like 3 cups a day. Amazing. Just amazing. And so what I don't have any additional sweetener in it, but I did find this pecan milk. Pecan milk. I found that milk and they had it in praline. Now it's not as sweet as I thought it would be, but it do taste delicious. I haven't tried it on its own, but I knew it would pair well with this tea, and it does. It's just a very warming and like comforting, cozy drink. Like it just tastes good, and I'm so excited. Like I really want to try a bunch of their other stuff because they have like a tea soda what is that? They have tea, something called teasings. It's tea and salt. I don't know. But like, I'm just like, I just want to try it. So you're probably like, if you clicked on this video, I don't give a fuck about that tea. I want to hear how you feel about the strawberry moon. And honestly, like, so I watch a lot of different astrologers. I looked it up. I also have CoStar. And I was just like, this particular moon is super resonating with me, and I don't know why. And I think I do know why. I am in a deep transition right now. There's a lot of moving parts happening in my life, and this moon just touches on a lot of those things that I've been feeling for quite some time. And now that I'm like making more action towards it, it's like, okay, this moon is really supporting how. So if you don't know, what this moon, the energy around this moon is going to be, so it's a full moon. It's in Capricorn. I have not, so I used to, like, back in the day, like back when I was in college, I was super drawn to the moon. It was like my comfort space. It was just like my time to, like, when I saw a full moon, even if I didn't know what sign it was in, or if it was a strawberry moon, or, sorry, I feel like I'm cleaning up some of my lip gloss. Kind of got messy after drinking. But like, not knowing really the details of it, it's just anytime I saw the full moon, like, literally stopped in my tracks and just bear witness. You know what I mean? Like, it was just really gorgeous to me. Where I live had like a clear view of the moon all the time, even when it wasn't full. Like, I could clearly see the moon all the time. After graduating college, and moving in different places, like, luckily, like, I'm not complaining, just been surrounded by like really tall trees. And so, like, because like that area didn't really have a lot of trees, and then like I was on the highest floor, or second to highest floor. I can't really remember, but I was on a high floor, so like any trees that were around, like, I was above it a little bit, so I could clearly see the moon. But like where I live, even when I'm on like the top floor or something like that, it's just a lot of tall trees blocking the view, and I can't see. So I've always been really drawn to the moon and everything. And but like after, like, you know, life got in the way, life started lifing, I was just not really paying attention to that stuff. You know, like, bills had to be paid, things had to be tended to, you know. So you know, I'll be asleep by the time the moon come out. So I don't know, like, I just kind of stopped. And so this is all, maybe I'm just salivating at the mouth because I missed the moon. But it's just like, I don't know, this is like the first full moon that I've paid attention to in a very long time. And I'm not gonna do like any rituals or anything regarding the moon today. I think just bearing witness in the energy is good enough for me today. But yeah, so let's get into what this moon is about. So I took a lot of notes. I get my information from a lot of sources. I'm not an astrologer, like I said. So I lean heavily on Google and the astrology girlies of the internet to kind of guide me on what this energy is calling for. So, like, in a generic sense, like, I do want to kind of get like an overview and then kind of talk about how the energies are impacting me and how I'm reflecting on that. Um, but in a general sense, it is about the balance between your private life, your private home life, which is rooted in Cancer, and then your public career and ambitions, which is rooted in Capricorn, right? Because uh, we're also having a Cancer, Mercury retrograde in Cancer. And again, I am not really big on retrogrades and stuff. They rarely impact me. But when I say this retrograde is retrograding, okay, why did I wake up to a power outage? And low key, I wanted it to last longer. I wanted it to last longer than it did so I can call out of work. But it didn't. It cut on when they said it was gonna cut on, so I was just like, whatever. And when it can't cut on, it's at the start of my work day. So I work from home and I would have gotten like a free day off, basically. But yeah, so there was a power outage. I ordered some groceries. Both locations did not have the specific frozen fruit that I was looking for, but one location had a pretty solid option for a substitute. So I went with that. So that's why I feel like the retrograde is retrograding. But I'm not talking about the retrograde, I'm talking about the moon. And so another thing, in addition to that balance between home life and your public career, there's also a balance between responsibility versus your emotional needs. And that resonates. We'll get into it. Second house. So another thing. So it's highlighting. I think this is highlighting for myself, like in my sign. There's a lot of houses that came up from my research. So I definitely know for Sagittarius, I believe the second house in income, material possessions, and self-worth is coming up. And I just feel like I am going through so many transitions right now. And like real transitions. I've been through crazy transitions in the past, but this feels more like adult transitions, and I'm going through them right now. So like for instance, so like I'm about to get into like what it means. So for context, for those who need it, I am a Sagittarius sun, Libra rising, and I am a Cancer moon. And so when it comes to like I guess like my identity side of things, this is highlighting again, like overall for everybody's highlighting these things, but for me in particular is highlighting my job, personal finances and possessions, my ability to lean into pleasure and creativity, and having more fun, reviewing my budget, slowing down my communication, and this is really more so about that Mercury retrograde, but slowing down my communication with my loved ones in my life. And when it comes to my identity, what's popped up is things regarding my fifth and eighth house. And if you don't know, the fifth house is about creativity, romance, joy, play. Where the eighth house is about transformation, shared resources, and the mysteries of life and death, right? And so, like, I think about that, right? So I'm gonna talk about my identity a little bit. Like, I guess, like, not my identity. That's weird to say. But, like, I guess how it's impacting like this side of me, right? And like I said, I've been going through I've been going through I'm going through so many transitions right now. The most fun one that I'm going through right now is that I'm moving. I'm planning on moving pretty soon. My lease is up pretty soon, and I have no idea. I have no idea where I'm gonna go. I have no idea where I'm gonna be. I don't know what that's gonna look like. Me and my lover really want to live in a townhouse. We got a dog last year, and we're just like, this apartment has been amazing to us, but it is definitely time, right? It is time to move on and move out of apartment living. Um, but in where I live, there's not a lot of townhouse options, and there are not a lot of house options for rent. And when I say townhouse options for rent, not to buy. If I want to buy, I can have whatever the fuck I want if I wanted to buy right now. There's so many options to buy. Renting, slim fucking pickings. Like, slim pickings. It is terrible. Like, I just feel like you're trapped to be in apartment living here, because it's just like, it's just no options. There's no options. And like, where we stay now, it's just like, it's just prime. They're building new things around us. I still have access to a lot of different things I need, like, right, grocery stores, shopping places, right? But also like, just restaurants, things to do, whatever. We went to go visit a townhome. Like, okay, so it was posted on Zillow. We went to go visit it, and no, it was not giving. It was not giving. I mean, the neighborhood was really nice. It was, all the townhomes over there looked very nice. It looked like a diverse community. Like, that I loved. The houses looked big. It looked spacious. That I loved. It was in the middle of fucking nowhere. And what type of life is that to live, Unless you desire that. And I just don't desire that. And then on top of that, instead of like currently, because I work from home, so I can move anywhere. I don't care where I move. As long as I have access to my things. And like, I feel like I can walk and feel safe when I'm walking, because I love to walk. But, my lover has to commute. I don't, like, right now, it's less than 10 minutes. And 10 minutes is pushing it, honestly. Really close to where he works. And I, like, to extend it to, like, 25 to 30-minute commute one way. And then we live in the middle of nowhere. It just felt forced. And I just, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. It was not fully resonating with me. It was just to say I got a townhouse. And I don't want to be that person anymore. Like, I don't want to be that person who, like, get things just to say I have it. I want to love it. When it comes to personal finances, I have been actually, like, really getting into budgeting, but in a way that isn't rice and beans and rice. If you know, you know. Cause like, that was my approach before, and it was so restrictive that, like, it's kind of like if you've ever dealt with some type of eating disorder where, like, you restrict yourself and then you go into a cycle of binge eating and then you restrict yourself. Like, if you've ever experienced that, or known anybody to experience that, like, it's not sustainable, right? Like, sure, like, Or even like if it's not even about restricting your food, like you go to like eating super super duper ridiculously healthy, right, to the point where it's restrictive, and then you can't sustain it because one, you're hungry, you're not properly nourished, then you're not you're not enjoying the food. Like it's not food you enjoy. And then the minute you eat a bag of chips, or maybe you get a burger, or whatever the case may be, like you start eating a lot of like the unhealthy stuff, and like getting into that cycle. So like whatever, and like it's very similar to those type of cycles. um and I felt myself a lot in those type of cycles in my early 20s, um in mid 20s, my entire 20s, my entire 20s, of like just trying to like, knowing that like my bank account shouldn't be saying zero all the time, but then like trying to budget, and then like budget for everything, and then budget for the future, and budget for the what ifs and all the things, and then find myself like going off script and then spending all my money. And that, gross. So like I just been getting into that, getting into like what like more sustainable practices, what investment could look like for me. Like, can I be a brokerage account girly? I don't know. Maybe I'll have a brokerage account later on. I don't know. But I just been studying on that and like looking into that. Um so yeah, possession, when it comes to the possession, so it's just like for me personally, I'm moving. I'm gonna be moving, I don't know, less than 2 months or so. So like just really looking at the things that are taking up my space, which is a lot of stuff. Um like for instance, like I debated on putting this poster up. I think it's beautiful. It came from Magic Hour. It has like a calendar of all the moons and the dates and all that good stuff. Um but I debated on putting it up because I was just like, I gotta put it down because I'm about to move. I was just like, this wall is so bare. It needs something, a little something, something. So, um, leaning into pleasure and creativity. Like again, like for me, how that's been showing up, I guess this video really, because like talking about astrology is something I love. Like it's one of the things I love. I don't have, like, I have people who are into it. I have in my life, I have people who, they like it, but it's like more so like me telling them about it. Like they don't really go out their way to necessarily look it up, and then like they do, but like when it comes to astrology, it's also individualized in my opinion. So it's just like who you gravitate to, the astrologers you gravitate to is different from who I gravitate to. And I learned that during the pandemic when I moved back home. My sister moved back home and she was going through something. And so an astrologer had popped up and she really liked them. And she was like, oh, you should listen, you should watch them, blah, blah, blah. And then so I watched and I was just like, this person's not resonating with me. Like, they're just not resonating with me at all. Like, I don't think I'm in this space right now. And so it's just like we're like, it's my little sister, so like we're in completely different spaces. So that makes sense. And like I've also sent videos to people and it's just like it didn't resonate with them. So like I just feel like it's really personal on who you can find and stuff like that. But like there's a call for more fun, and I've been feeling that this year, honestly. Like I work really hard and I don't give myself enough props for how hard I work. And I know a lot of people say that, but I genuinely don't. And I mean, I've crossed bridges that seemed impossible to cross. I've done things that just like climbing, it felt like climbing Mount Everest, you know what I mean? And like in my personal life, in my relationship, in my work, my job, like just who I've become over the years, like it took a lot. It took a lot. And it was big hurdles. Mentally, physically, like I've been tried in so many spaces. And I just feel like this is the year I finally get the permission, so to speak, of yeah, you get to have fun. You get to enjoy your life. You get to live life. You don't have to just work and that's it, you know? Or heal or whatever the case may be. Like I don't have to just do that. And there's so many fun moments that happened this year for me already. And it's just like continuing to lean into that. Um and just doing things because I want to do it. And for no other reason other than that I want to do it. So just leaning into that, slowing down my communication with my loved ones. And again, like I think I said this already, but you know, fifth house, eighth house, type of energy is coming up, and I definitely feel like this transformation that does not feel like death. Like I've been through transformations that were horrible. I just feel like I've been through transformations that hurt, and I say that laughing now because I can laugh at it now. But I've been through all those things, and this transformation feels just like putting on a new dress, changing my hairstyle. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel like going through physical therapy, rehabilitation, that type of thing. When it comes to like the emotional side, so getting into like my Cancer moon a little bit here, was come up from you know the girlies I watch. This idea of like when it comes to like my relationship, like the we versus the me, right? Like, and I really resonate with that because I mean all this year and a little bit towards the end of last year was set up for me to focus on me and to focus on like recentering myself, giving back to myself, you know, and allowing those that I love around me to give back to me, even in moments that it felt uncomfortable. It felt like, oh no, you don't have to do this, or you know, like I'm fine, like I'm good. Like that's like the type of person I am. And a lot of times I do be fine, and a lot of times I do be good. But sometimes, even if I'm fine and good, like it's okay to take an extra. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to get more, even if I'm fine and good. So like just learning that I'm allowed to be poured into as much as I pour into others in my life. You know. And but continuing to pour into people. So like continuing to pour into the relationships I really care about, you know? But also like evaluating what repres for that word about to kick my ass. Hold up. Reciprocity. Um, leaning into that, like leaning into all of my relationships, not how, like, not just how I pour and give into any space that I'm in, but how those spaces pour back into me, right? And do I feel poured into? And then also things that I've learned in my personal relationship, extending that out to family and friends. Like learning how to have healthy relationship dynamics in my life. Like I learned that heavily through my romantic relationship, and it's like, okay, these lessons are great, and like we have this beautiful dynamic now, but how can I take those lessons and pour it into other areas of my life that could use that extra watering, right? And so it's hard. Like, it is very hard for me to communicate to people. I laugh because if anybody in my personal life ever see this video, they know exactly what I mean by that. And so it is very difficult for me to communicate. It's very difficult for me to communicate discomfort. Um, it's very difficult for me to communicate things that may be going against the grain a little bit in the spaces that I am. And when I say that, again, for people who know me knows that I'm not afraid to go against the grain. I am the first to do a lot of things in my private life. So like, or I'm the first to tap into certain things, trends, whatever, and not to be like, whatever about that, but I typically do things, and then like I open that door of possibility for the people in my life to see, like, oh, like that's a thing people can do, you know what I mean? Um and because of that, why am I bringing that up? What was I talking about? Do I smoke too much? Maybe. Pouring into people, giving back. I'm not gonna struggle on that word again. Wow, completely lost my train of thought there. It'll come back to me at some point. Celebrating how far I've come. Oh my goodness. Again, that just goes into, I'm a tinkerer. I like to tinker. I am not done ever. Even when it looks done, it's not done. And I had to learn to be okay with leaving things undone, unfinished. And by undone and unfinished, undone and unfinished to my standards. Because, like, people around me might not feel that way. People around me might not feel that whatever it is that I'm constantly poking and prodding at and perfecting and all those things, they probably don't even think about that. This tea is so fucking good. But like I do, and I don't know, like I just tinker at things. And so when you are a tinkering person, when you're a person who just pokes and prods and all the things, you don't celebrate yourself enough. most likely. Like, you're probably like, oh, like, once it gets to this milestone, once it gets to this space, once it gets to this stage, then I can celebrate. And but it never, but like, it will never ever get to this the phase for you to celebrate when you think like that. And I think like that. And so, like, really actually looking back, and what triggered this for me personally was like, I don't know, like maybe like a week or two ago, my best friend sent me a voice memo. Like, we send voice memos, and one of the things, like, she said was like just really, you know, congratulating me on like how far I've come, because she knows that like there's a version of me that wouldn't be able to say what I was able to say. And I don't think, and that was like the first moment where it clicked for me. It was just like, you need, you need to just celebrate yourself sometimes. You need, even if like it's not even like phase one is not even finished, celebrate the fact that I started. Like, I just need to celebrate myself more. And I don't know what that's gonna look like, to be honest with you. I don't even know what it is that I'm gonna celebrate. It's probably nothing. I know when I move into wherever I'm gonna move in next, whether it's within, whether it's without, whether it's still here, I don't know where I'm gonna be, and it's bothering me. But it's not bothering me. It's not bothering me. It's bothering me in the sense of like, I just want to know my new space, the new space I'm gonna occupy. But it's a true surprise, and I'll find out when I cross that bridge, and I know I'll celebrate that. But like, just giving more space for joy and pleasure and excitement and celebration. I just bringing more of that into my life centered around me. Okay? And not centered around other people. Because like, I feel like I celebrate other people all the time. Or when I can, depending on who they are in my life. And I do that, but it's just like, I don't celebrate me, like, at all. Like, there's probably so much I've done, maybe, that, like, I don't share with people. Cause, like, I don't know, I just keep it to myself. I'm that type of person. I'm mysterious. I did a tarot reading the other day, and I forgot to look up, because I took notes on that reading, and I forgot to look at my notes before recording this video. But I did a reading the other day, and the Eight of Swords popped up, I believe. Yeah, Eight of Swords. It was a lot of sword energy. It was a lot of wand energy that that I was getting, and it came up again in someone else's reading I was watching. And so I thought that was interesting that Eight of Swords came up. I can't remember verbatim what that card means. I believe it's like one of those things of like, you're working so hard, but you gotta keep going, even if you might be tired or exhausted. But in a way, it's been showing up in the readings that I've been tapping into for me. It's like, that is a version of me that existed, and now there's a version of me that exists now, where it's like, I can work hard without the exhaustion. And that's a big one for me, because I've been exhausted for like a decade. It's really bad. It's so bad. But you know, you gotta work to eat to live, so that's why. Walls. Oh my god, I built so many walls around so many people. Um, like to the point, honestly, I almost forgot what my actual personality was, or who I was, like my own identity and sense of self, in a sense. And that's crazy if that's really deep, but not in a drastic way. More so of like, I am putting on this, I'm putting up this boundary that's not really a boundary, or I'm putting on this mask so I can get through this moment so I can go back home and cry. Like, that was like kind of like the vibe I was in for a very long time. And so, like, with that, now that I'm like, I'm stretching and I'm expanding and I'm feeling and experiencing and all those good things, right? I'm doing all those things. And those walls may still exist some places because I am a fortress. I know how to be made of stone. And so I know it's like examining a lot of like, is this something I really need to keep up, or can I demolish this? And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, spoiler alert, I'm demolishing a lot of walls. They don't serve me. But I appreciate them because it protected me in a way that I just needed to be protected at the time. And I don't understand it necessarily. It's not for me to always understand. Now we're getting into like public image, right? Again, this moon is highlighting because like Cancer uh is about emotions. I know it deals a lot with family dynamics. Like, I believe Cancer is like the mom of the group type vibe. So again, like, themes of family and relationship is just coming up, but more so of like, you know, private, like the private relationship versus family, not necessarily in a negative way. I don't think the tension for me personally in my life is like a negative tension there. But like, I do know that because I am very like a tinkering person, you know, I like crawl into my shell and like I go tinker like a mad scientist in my shell. And, you know, so maybe like that tension there of like not being at every function because I'm tinkering. Um, yeah. And let's see. Oh, actually, my public image was more so about those lessons learned and extending it to family. So, but it doesn't really matter. That's just the energy that we're holding, right? We're all collectively holding these energies about family and finances, and emotion versus responsibility. You know, like, I have to take care of my puppy Brew. I have to show up at work. I have to do certain things and certain obligations in my life, but at what cost to like my emotion in my sense of self, my landscape. And like, I came across a creator talking about the idea of creative, was it creative burnout? no, creative labor, and just the idea, like, so I talked about some of the big transitions I'm going through right now with my finances. I'm talking about, transitions of like actually moving. But then there's like another one that like I'm low key scared to talk about. It's with the JOB. And I don't know what that looks like right now. It looks messy. I can tell you that. It looks super messy. But whatever comes of that, comes of that. Whatever opportunities come of that, come of that. Um, but I brought that up because it's just like I do feel like in every role that I've held up until this point, I've poured so much of myself into it, physically, emotionally, mentally, and it's like that's common. Like, and when I say it's common, like it is, that's the nature of work a lot of times in a lot of places that we work, and especially for me because I gravitate more to impact work. I gravitate more to mission driven work. I have worked in corporate, but like, you know, I prefer that the fruits of my labor is going towards a better good, or some like a real thing that's helping people and making lives better and easier. Even if I were to ever, I don't think I will ever transition to tech. I'm considering it though because it's just like your girl need money. But even if I transition to tech, I would want to find tech companies that are like creating things that's useful for people and not another another thing, you know what I mean? Another app, another doom scroll space, another whatever. Um and I don't know, you guys. Like, it's just a lot there. And it's definitely coming up, and the energy is like, it's like the energy of this full moon in particular. And I want peace in that arena. And I think that's honestly like what I'm gonna take my time on, really understanding like what do I want to get out of my career, because I have built a pretty nice solid foundation for my career. I just want to take it further. Number one, I want to be in more control um in some areas of my career. I don't have to be in control of everything. That's why it's just like I be teeter-tottering on the whole entrepreneurship angle of things. I know living in the US, you just kind of have to have multiple jobs to survive. No, not to, for some people to survive. For me, I can have one job to survive, but I need another job to thrive. But I don't have the capacity for that. When I think about myself, like, I do not think I have the capacity to like just work and do entrepreneurship on the side, and I know there's ways of doing it, and still having a life and all those things, but it's just like it feels daunting. And like it don't have to be. And actually I'm currently like in a group of women who are like navigating that same space that I am in. And I am looking forward to whenever I figure out what it is I'm gonna do. Because I'm just like, there's so many angles in which I can take it, but I'm not gonna think about it right now, and I'm not gonna think about it too long, cause like for me, or one thing with Mercury retrograde, it's happening until mid July at some point. I think it ends. It started today. It ends like on the 24th to 23rd, around that time. My ear. These earrings gonna hurt. But so that gives me space to really just savor what it is that I'm looking for out of my career, and making sure that my career is serving me first and foremost before it serves the mission, before it serves leadership, before it serves all the things. Because I need me taken care of first, you know? And if I can't be taken care of, then, you know, we gotta figure that out. But that's where I'm at. And I rambled. And again, this space really is more so like having space when we receive all this astrology content of like, how is this actually showing up in our lives for real? And so this is just how it's showing up in my life. And these are the things, like I've rambled and talked about so much shit that I don't even know what I rambled and talked about fully. But I hope it was enjoyable. And I hope you can like reflect a little bit also on like how these energies are showing up for you. Like in like the space of career, and in the space of family dynamics, and your emotional landscape versus the tension between your emotional landscape and your responsibilities. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like those are like the major things that we're all gonna feel at this particular time, to like really reflect. I heard someone say like this full moon being in Capricorn mid-year is actually really great, because like if you know Capricorn is very business, straightforward, no nonsense, about the money, about the career, about the ambition. And this is like a really good time to reflect. Like we're 6 months into 2026. It kind of flew by for me, but not really. I got to savor a lot of moments. So like I feel like it took a minute to get here for me, but in the best way possible. And so it's just like, take that time to reflect on that, and like how is it actually showing up, and like how can you use this energy to support like what it is that you're trying to go for. And I feel like because so many people right now in particular is in this transitional phase of like wanting more is one thing. I feel like in previous cycles of life, we've all wanted more. But I feel like this cycle of life that we're all in collectively is that we know we are capable of receiving it. It's really just a matter of what avenues is going to come down to like trickle down to you to get to you. But like it's more of like I know I have more, there's more for me here. And it's not even like, oh, there's more for me, but it's a lot of obstacles to get there. Like, it's like, no, it's more for me, and I just have to make this one decision, and I can get it. Like, and that's like, I feel like that's like the energy a lot of people are in right now. A lot of people are in that. Like, it's not even like I told y'all I'm a part of that group, and a few women have said, including myself, was just like, I knew, like, I did not know that I would actually be so sure. Because like for me, I will have like these revelations, and I be wanting to do this and try this and start this. But then when it gets down to it, I be so unsure. I be so like, I don't know. But then this go around, it's like, no, I'm pretty sure. It's just more so about like, okay, what are the steps I need to take to get this done? You know? And so yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there because this video's been long enough and y'all don't know me to commit to an hour long video. But if you did, I love it. Thank you. Um but yeah, I am really excited about what's in store coming up for me in my life, and I think I'm excited because I really don't know what it looks like. I genuinely don't know. It's just vibes. It's vibes and good energy. And everywhere I've gone, everybody I've talked to have just been reaffirming that for me. And so it's just a matter of like me experiencing. And I think that's just where I'm at. So I'll leave it there. Thank you for vibing with me. Thank you for drinking tea with me. Um, and I hope this full moon pours into you in a way that's very supportive. And even if it pours into you with a little tough love, I hope you have the support system to navigate that. All right. Thank you. Bye, Jones.